Ahoy! Welcome into the Junk Drawer, part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network. Urban Meyer should honestly hire the two of us because we're both losers too. Today is December 13th, 2021, Taylor Swift's birthday. Happy birthday, Tay-Tay.
Wow.
What is up,
Happy birthday to
junkies?
him.
I am Austin. That's AD. What's up, AD?
I just want to say, I know last week I said this was probably the last podcast that Austin is not a
Yeah, you
father, I
jinxed
guess.
it.
Yeah, I think I did jinx it. So that's on me. So
Yeah.
apologize to your wife for me, Austin.
Right. Well, I'll just say she's pissed, dude, because she is literally as uncomfortable as a pregnant woman can get. You know, it's like she is in the final, hopefully, week of pregnancy. We thought this last week, but she is just not sleeping well, not walking well. It is like just like waddling to and fro. Like God love her. She is
and it's all my fault because
it is all your fault. Yeah.
Otherwise the baby would have been here already.
Well, partially is my fault. If you know what I mean. Hey. Her dad religiously listens to this podcast, so that's probably not something he wants to hear. Happy belated birthday to AD. AD turned 30 over the weekend.
Hey, thank you very much, Austin.
AD, how's it feel to be in your 30s finally?
Besides waking up with a hangover still today, even though I didn't drink yesterday, yeah, not bad.
You went hard on Saturday night, didn't you?
Friday and Saturday, yes, we're
both nights
very hard. Yeah, there was a work party on Friday that we went to. So
man,
it was a back-to-back of holiday parties and just all types of
any work drama
too much
at the holiday party. Like, did you see a boss making out with a coworker or anything like
that? No, luckily it was my wife's work, so it had nothing to do with me. So I was okay.
So you can get
I was in the clear there. I was very loose. Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly why I still have a hangover today. So
right.
Yeah.
As AD said, I am still here because my baby is not. We are hopefully this is the final episode of which we are just a family of two. The TBD on that one, though. We'll have to see. In fact,
jury is still out.
Maybe we take bets. In fact, should I just throw that onto the poll right now?
Yeah, let's. So what are the options here? So is it?
I'll just say, is this the week
last
Austin,
episode?
Is this the week Austin has his baby?
Okay.
Yeah,
because I mean, we could get a little bit more detail of what day we're going to be, what it's going to be, but at this point, it could be any day, really, right? So
yeah,
the baby, it will be ready whenever the baby is ready.
Well, yeah, ain't that the truth? Like the baby's not even here yet. We're already playing into the hands of the baby's timing, And everyone always says like, oh, once you have a kid, like, oh, you lose your lives. You lose like it's all your life surrounds the baby. Our life is already surrounding this baby. She's not even here yet.
It already happened. Yeah.
This is a podcast where we talk about just about anything. And now that we live stream, you can interact. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, you can interact. We just can't see it for whatever reason. Hopefully that gets resolved soon because I'm tired of saying it. And honestly, I know our biggest audience is on Twitter, and so we want you guys to contribute. But if you want to comment and interact with the show to where we can see it, hop on over to our YouTube page or to our Facebook page. You can watch on there, and those comments we can see, and you can kind of interact and steer the show in whichever direction you want to go. Also, I should say, speaking of our YouTube channel, go subscribe. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. Not to brag, it's such a huge number, but no, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're currently at 945. I think we started this push. We were right around 900, so we're almost halfway to where we started to where we want to end up, and we're not even halfway through December yet. So 945, we're at.
Good point.
Go subscribe to the YouTube page. We would appreciate everyone who does. If we do, AD, why don't you tell them what they get?
Well, so I said I was going to keep that winter Pittsburgh hat on until the Steelers lost. So clearly that, already happened. But I will be doing an entire episode hatless, which is something that the likes of, I don't think anyone has seen ever on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And Austin will be doing an episode shirtless. So I don't know which one is more, which one you would be more interested in, but I think Austin being shirtless is kind of a big draw. So I think that alone could get people, new listeners that we've never even had before. So just keep that in mind when you are. I mean, you can help us. You can help us by telling your friends to subscribe. Send them the link. Just say, hey, all you have to do is hit subscribe, and we get to see this guy shirtless. We get to see this guy hatless.
And I don't honestly, I can't think of a better selling tool. Like I can't think of what more. Like, do you need more of a reason to subscribe to a YouTube channel?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe so. But yeah, please tell your friends. Just get the word out. We need 1,000. And regardless if you want to see us shirtless or hatless, just help us out. It would be awesome.
Yeah, and really, that's literally all it is. Like, just go and click subscribe. Whether you watch a video or not, we don't care. Just help us get our numbers up. That's one
goes a long way.
You can help, and it's the holiday season. It's the time of
the holiday season, yeah, and it's free. It's free to subscribe.
And
so
it's right.
What more could you need? Yeah,
you'd be giving us the gift of subscribing in this
yes.
time in this season of giving. Also, since we are a podcast, I am legally required to tell you to subscribe, rate, and review. That takes 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Literally, you can help out Cork Bats so much just by interacting
in multiple ways,
engaging, yes, and subscribing. It really helps us go a long way. So we appreciate all of you who do. We have a big show. We've got our good, back, and ugly coming up. We've got our 3 bad picks coming up. That's our NFL pick segment. Our newly renamed NFL pick segment. And of course, we'll end with the Frank fact. But you know what, AD, let's just go ahead and get started with everything. But before we do, name a song.
Again, oh my gosh. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Smells like, all right, Nirvana. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Name a woman.
Who did Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
I was trying to think of who did Kurt Cobain date.
Oh, Courtney Love.
Courtney Love. I couldn't think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Family Feud. Family Feud. Good answer.
Yep, there it is.
All right. AD, why don't you go ahead and get us started with our good, back, and ugly?
So you kind of led off with it, Austin. It was my 30th birthday this past weekend, and my wife threw me a surprise party on Saturday.
Oh,
so
snap.
It was a great time, and obviously we were trying to rally from Friday night, so it was a bit of a struggle in the beginning, but she surprised me, and I won't say that I was fully surprised because I had a couple hints along the way. One person slipped up. I got a text message about an order that she made for the food. So like, it was one of those things where like, I like kind of had an idea. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, but it was funny though, cause she placed like the catering order for food from one of my favorite places, Baby Loves Tacos, which is right down the street from us. And I get a text on Friday that says like, you just earned a point at Baby Loves Tacos or whatever it was, like for the rewards. And I was like, what the? I didn't just buy Baby Loves. And then she's like, all right, just stop looking at your phone. Like, don't look at our bank account. Like, just.
Oh, that's funny. So you knew going in. It was a surprise party that was no bit of a surprise at all.
Yeah. And then Friday night we were at it was her work party, and I was like going to the bathroom, and I like saw someone who was leaving. They were like getting their coat, and I said bye to him, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, like see you tomorrow. And I was like, I paused for a second because I was like,
come on.
I was like, I knew there wasn't anything on the books, so to speak.
Who was that? Who was that said that?
It was so one of Brittany's coworkers' husbands. So
what's his name?
John. So John.
Come on, yeah, John.
Yeah.
Damn it, John.
And then like the next night he asked me if that was the one that ruined it. And I tried to be nice and say no, it wasn't that, but it was definitely that.
Damn it.
But the surprise was not ruined. It was a great acting job when everyone involved. There were some fake text messages going on, like, hey,
Oh, okay.
come over to our house for a cocktail later, and it's like, and then we'll go to dinner, and then it's like, oh, we're actually just staying at your house because dinner's already here.
I love
But
there's nothing I love more than the fake text message to throw off the scent of a surprise party. It's
and
such a it takes some skill, and it takes some, like, you got to know what you're doing going into it, but
yeah,
if you can
yeah,
pull it off, it can make or break the surprise.
yeah, and everyone did a good job involved with it. I just it just made me laugh, though, the fact that it's so hard to surprise anyone in this day and age, with social media, with everything that goes in with, like, how public we all are nowadays. It's hard to surprise someone, and it was the first time I think I've ever been, quote unquote surprised, like ever had like a surprise party for myself. So that was also interesting.
Yeah.
I don't do well in where the spotlight is sort of on me. Like Christmas morning opening gifts, I'm terrible at. Like I am the worst.
Opening gifts on Christmas morning when you get something that, like, you didn't really ask for, you don't really want. That's always tough.
Or the one where you're trying to figure out like what it is. You're like,
oh yeah, when you're like,
oh.
and you have to like delay your excitement because like you're not, and then they have to explain it, and you're like, oh yeah,
that's what that's for.
Oh, this is awesome. This is gonna. Oh, I was just saying, wasn't I just saying the other day that I need something like this?
Hey, honey, did you see what they got me? Like,
it's like, weren't we just saying? And then like you have to
do the whole thing over again, show the whole room.
Gosh.
So I don't do well in situations like that. So that's a little uncomfortable for me. But once things settled down, and it was all right. But I'm awful in those situations, though.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And I saw on your Instagram, on your personal Instagram at Huff_father.
Yes.
You posted some photos from the surprise party.
I did.
Was everyone dressed like you as well, or do you just hang out with people that are just very like-minded?
So I didn't pick up on that until after someone told me. They're like, "We're all dressed as you," and like that was the plan. So
I couldn't tell if they were dressed like you or dressed like Billy Madison.
Yeah, right. I mean, it might as well be the same thing.
Right,
yeah.
right. If it was a Billy Madison themed party, because a lot of people had the flannel, the dad hats on.
The dad hat. My brother had a wig on because he doesn't have long hair, so he had to put a wig on. A couple of people had wigs on, actually, but I did not pick up on that at first. And actually, I saw someone wearing an Allen Iverson jersey, and I have the same exact jersey. It's like not a typical Sixers Allen Iverson jersey. It's red on the bottom and white on top. And I was like, at first I was like, did Brittany like bring over a bunch of my clothes to like give to you guys to wear like at the party? And it was his jersey. So we just have the same exact jersey. So we made plans to wear the jersey this summer, and maybe we'll take a picture together wearing it. So I don't know.
There you go. There you go. That's very sweet. Very sweet.
Yes.
All right. Is that it for your good of the week?
That was my good of the week. It was a good time. It was a good weekend, rather.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
My good of the week. I got a couple of goods this week, but my first good of the week. My goodness, that Succession season 3 finale. Have you watched it yet?
I did. I mean, how could you not watch it last night?
I want to try. I mean, Succession is the best show on television right now. Like it is so good, and it continues to blow you away. And that finale last night was, I mean, like, I want to talk about it, but it's like it's hard to do so without spoilers.
Yeah, right.
So
maybe next week we can talk about it, because it's like today's Monday, obviously, when we record.
Yeah.
And like people still, that's like that spillover. Like there's still
Right.
some people that haven't seen it. Maybe they're watching Sunday Night Football, or maybe they're going to watch Monday Night Football tonight. So maybe Tuesday is their day to watch it. So
Yeah,
we do have
right.
to be mindful of that.
Right,
Yeah.
sure. We'll give people the benefit of the doubt. And I do know this. There's a lot of people that haven't even started the series. They haven't even started the show.
Which is a mistake.
If you're one of those people, the hell you doing?
What rock do you live? What rock do you live under?
Oh my gosh, this show it is. I'm just gonna say it's the best show on television right now. It's appointment TV every week. Very few shows are like that. I feel like Game of Thrones was the last show that was like it.
Yes.
But like it is appointment every Sunday night at 8:00. I'm like, oh snap! I gotta sit down and watch this thing.
That's interesting. It's 8:00 Central Time, 9:00 Eastern.
I know
time.
you got to wait a whole another hour. That sucks for you, dude.
I'm stuck in the future over here, man.
I feel bad.
An hour ahead of you.
I know, and you have to stay up later to watch it. That sucks. But so the one of the things interesting, if you haven't seen it and you're afraid of Succession spoilers, maybe tune out, because I don't know if this will give anything away. I mean, it probably will, so maybe tune out right now. But spoiler ahead. I don't know how much clearer. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do this.
Are you gonna say so on the tweet? On the Twitter world?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and just add a spoiler warning right here.
Okay, cool.
Just to cover our bases, AD.
Gotcha.
Because we don't want to be those guys.
We want to be canceled for something like that.
You do not want to be canceled for something like that.
LaShawn McCoy tweeting the ending to was
Star Wars.
Is it Endgame or something, or was it Star Wars? It was. I think it was.
I think it was Star Wars. The Force Awakens back.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So I saw this tweet the other day, and I thought it was really, really funny. I actually saw it last night. He says, "I'm sorry. I know I've talked about this before, but the sides here are so bleeping funny to me. Could you imagine Logan only having Tom and Greg in his corner? He'd commit double homicide." Okay. He's referring to this poster for Succession. It's like a promotional poster, and it's
got an awesome poster too.
Kendall Roy, Roman Roy, Shiv, and
it's also in Spanish too. So
it is in Spanish.
Yeah.
Succession. What's Alan Ruck's character's name? I always forget his name.
Something with a C. Not Cody.
Connor.
Connor.
Yeah. Roy.
Connor. Yeah.
So it's got them on one side, a line right down the middle, and then it's got Logan Roy, Greg, and Tom on the other side. And it is kind of funny to think like, okay, going into last night's episode, you're like, oh, this is funny. That would be hilarious if they teamed up.
But then it makes sense after you.
And then it's like, then you watch the episode, and then this tweet is just perfect. Like literally the person went back, found their tweet from September 21st.
Oh, September. Oh, okay. I didn't realize how old that was. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just absolutely calling themselves out for it. Guys, see, like if you're not on the Succession train yet, I don't know what you're doing. Go watch this show. It's so good. It's my favorite show. And
it's got the junk drawer stamp of approval.
It does.
The double stamp. We got both sides here.
And I love Billions. I'm a big Billions fan on Showtime.
I have not seen that. I have not. Yeah. Probably because I don't have Showtime, actually.
Right. And not as many people have Showtime, so not as many people have seen Billions. But if you like Billions, I think Succession is even better than Billions. And that's coming from a guy who loves Billions. So
okay. But does this mean I should watch Billions or not?
If you have access to watch Billions, yes.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You need to find a way. It's so good.
Is it $10 a month for that too? Everything's $10 a month.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So you get like all these streaming services, and then you end up paying
Showtime. And Showtime has boxing too, which is sometimes pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. And then my other back of the week, or
good of the week,
sorry, thank you. All right. This is. I don't even know how to like start this one off. This is okay. So my good of my other good of the week is just Brian Kelly's dancing. Have you seen this, AD?
I don't know if I've seen. I saw a brief clip of it. I don't know if
I'm putting this in my good mainly because I just don't know where else to put it. Like it is Brian Kelly since landing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana is like cannot stay out of his own way. Just continues to be like the parent that you ask to drop you off like 3 blocks away from the mall just because you're too embarrassed to be around them. Just like, oh, just drop me off. And they're like, we're still a mile from the mall. I don't care. I'll walk. Okay. Just let me out of the car right now. I don't want my friends to see you dropping me off here. Okay. That is Brian Kelly as a head coach. So Walker Howard, 5-star quarterback commit, an Under Armour All-American. I guess he had a visit to LSU since Brian Kelly has been down there, and he posted this video. Said, "Got my coach." Okay. I don't know if that's something I'd be bragging about if I was Walker Howard, but you know what? Teach his own. Also, I love that Walker Howard went with the people, only people that he follows or mention can reply. Like he clearly changed that setting because this tweet was going viral for all the wrong reasons. But look at this man. Okay. Like look at this. What?
What is he doing?
Is
Walker Howard a QB? Is that what you said? Quarterback?
Yeah, I believe he's a quarterback. Like literally Brian Kelly dances like a toddler. Like he dances like you dance, like how you dance like when you're in line for the bathroom in a convenience store. You know,
you gotta go real
bad.
Like
you just kind of like stay moving. Just
so you don't go in the pants at all.
Right, exactly.
No dribble.
We've all been there before. You pull up to the gas station only to find out someone is in the bathroom stall, so you kind of have to wait. And so you just there's
nothing worse than that feeling of like having to hold it after you're like think in the back of your mind like you're about to go.
Oh,
and it turns out you have to wait for someone to take a dump in front of you. Like
I'd argue that's on the Mount Rushmore of worst feelings in the world.
Well, and doesn't he kind of look like a baby compared to him, Walker?
He does. He does.
He's like very short.
Right. He is giving off like mad short vibes. And the oversized tech vest doesn't help his case either. That only makes him look even smaller in stature. But I also love how he's commanding like 3/4 of that little circle thing that they're standing on.
And giving Walker
Walker's like literally got his toes on the edge, about to get knocked over. Like this feels like one of those old American Gladiator games back in the day.
Yes, it does.
I feel like Brian Kelly's like trying to nudge him off, like it's a Survivor game, and Brian Kelly's trying to win immunity.
Well, honestly, I think he would be better off if he did just step down off of that little thing. They might be the same size at that point.
Right. Also, what is this room? Like, why does LSU just have this room? Like,
they only take a picture here after they commit to LSU. This is the LSU commit room.
This feels like one of those rooms that like presenters go in at like the Teen Choice Awards, like right before they're about to go out and present, like they go in one of these rooms and it's like coming up,
And the camera's just going the whole way around him.
Yeah. Coming up, Machine Gun Kelly presents the award for, best new artist. It's like, I don't know. I just think like the last 3 LSU head coaches have all won a national title. Why do I feel like that streak ends here?
Wow. So wait, who was it? Coach O, Saban,
and Les Miles.
I always forget about him.
Yeah. Les Miles. That's because he was canceled. It's probably good that you forgot.
I mean, did he even coach? I don't even remember.
Right. He's been canceled. So we don't remember anyone that's been canceled. I kind of wish Brian Kelly would get canceled just based off of this. Like my man went from like fake Southern accent to this. This is the next thing we see from him. Like what's gonna come next? Like what's the next thing we should expect from Brian Kelly? And like with
Yeah.
his fake Southern accent, like with him trying to adapt to the South as quickly as he has, how like I'd be willing to bet that like Brian Kelly thinks Walker Howard is a country star. Right? Like
yes,
he probably thinks like I'm hanging here with Walker Howard. And they're like, Brian, that's a quarterback recruit. And he's like, oh.
That's what I
yeah,
meant.
no, I knew.
Yeah, that's what
I knew that. Yeah, y'all, I knew that. With it, I mean, hey, he's part of the LSU family. Go Tigers. I don't know. I just think Brian Kelly is just the absolute.
Have we heard a Go Tigers from him yet?
I don't know. It's a good question. He's done a lot of these, which I didn't know it was an LSU thing. I feel like this is a new LSU thing.
Walker just did it right there. I don't know if you caught
right. Isn't this a look? There's like, Brian Kelly doing it right there. Isn't this a
growing up
like a Texas Tech thing? Raiders?
Growing up, this just always meant loser, right?
It did mean loser.
Did he pick this up from Urban Meyer? Maybe.
Oh, good question. Good question. Which we're going to get into Herb a little bit later. But yeah, so Brian Kelly dancing again. He's my good of the week because I honestly I didn't know where else to put it. I didn't. I guess I maybe could have put it in my ugly of the week. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's just good because for team content's sake, he's given us a lot to work with. So
maybe maybe that's his strategy, part of his strategy at least.
Maybe. AD, what's your back of the week?
My back of the week, and we talked about this on a previous episode, are objects on NFL fields.
So, this is my back of the week.
Is it really? Oh wow, nice. Good timing.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing that we found? It was a pair of scissors. Or no. Scissors was this week. It was like a fork or something.
Well,
right?
So we thought it was a fork, but I think it actually was a pair of scissors. I think if you look closely, it's a pair of those like scissors that like cut your spatting off your ankles.
Oh, for the tape, yes. Okay. So here's a picture of what so you can clearly see this past week at the football team stadium, Taylor Heineke is handing a pair of scissors, a legit pair of scissors, to a coach that were on the field. Now, who would be responsible if these scissors were never picked up and like it just like impales someone's leg on the football field, And I will say that I will compliment Taylor Heineke on his scissor passing skills because that was something that was discussed heavily in elementary school. You never hand scissors by the handles.
That's true. That is true.
You never do. So I'd like to compliment Taylor Heineke for not passing them that way because this is something that we all learned back in the day.
Yeah.
And here's there's the live shot of him. Like, look,
right.
It's like finding. It looks like he found like treasure or something. He's like, oh wait.
AD, do you remember how Graham used to handle scissors?
Yeah.
Like our grandma, God rest her soul, love her to death. She would never take scissors from you directly. You would have to set them down, and she would put them up.
down.
Yes, you couldn't hand them to her directly. You literally had to place them on the table and her to pick them up, and she would just sit there and wait until you would put it down because she's not taking it directly from your hand.
There had to be some sort of incident that occurred that we don't know about. Maybe somehow like she sliced her finger one time, like being handed a pair of scissors. Something happened. Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude, scissors are having themselves a moment, aren't they? They're having themselves a year.
I mean, look at it. Were they in the red zone right there? I think that
outside the red zone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. On their way in. I'm going to be honest though, AD, I kind of expect this on FedEx Field. Like scissors are probably the last thing you need to worry about on that turf.
What week was it? Like week 4, I think, whenever there was an explosion in the bathroom.
Oh yeah. Do
you remember that one?
Video?
The poop water coming down.
Literally showering people in the seats below. Yeah, I remember.
And it wasn't a golden shower either. This was
it was a poop shower.
quite brown. Yes, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
poop shower.
Right. And the Browns were in town and they weren't even playing Cleveland.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's this is the turf that destroyed RG3's career. Like
Well, wait, and Joe Theismann and Alex Smith.
That's right.
Same turf, same field.
Damn, good point, AD.
FedEx Field is taking, and now we know why. Finally, we know why.
Right.
Actually,
it's never good when like a turf is like so bad it can simultaneously destroy your knee, but then cut open your knee and get an early head start on your meniscus surgery. Like that's never a good sign. Like why is it now? Like this is now twice on NFL fields. Do we need to start like doing like pre-game scans for scissors?
Like metal detector, send them out before the game. Make sure there's nothing.
Those old guys at the beaches, just out there before a game, just making sure there's no like, I don't know, like doctor's equipment on the turf. Like what? Like I feel like we're gonna find like a stethoscope at some point, and then I don't know, maybe some paper clips.
Yeah, at this point, we should expect to find like an IV station, like just anything possible to. I mean, maybe it's just a one-stop shop for players. Like they know players are going to get hurt. They just want to be prepared. They want to be ready. They want to have it on the field at all times, ready to go. I don't know. I think maybe they're a step ahead of us in Washington, and they just know that these things could happen. I don't know. It's
right. Yeah, no. Maybe it's like easier access, it's like, so that way the trainer doesn't have to run out to the field with that goofy ass fanny pack. They can just have their equipment already out there on the field waiting for them.
Just reach down in the turf and grab a pair.
Right. I love, and speaking of trainers, there's no guiltier look you will find in all of America than this trainer. He tries to hide it right away. Watch the jerk. Watch the jerk he gives when he realizes he's picking up a pair of scissors.
Yeah. Oh.
Like oh snap! Like that's mine. Like that's an oh crap! Those are mine. Like I've been looking for those. And then he looks around and then notice the ginger walk right after he starts walking away with the scissors. Right here. Right there. Oh my! Like the last like split second of the video. He's just like, oh crap! I hope none of my bosses saw that.
I don't know if you caught this though. He pulled one of these numbers. He grabbed the scissors and hid them.
Yeah,
like a magician, slid them up his sleeve, and
yes.
Right. It's like now you see him, now you don't. It's
like he's doing a sleight of hand trick. He's like, what's going on over here? Meanwhile, the scissors are slid up his shirt. I just think this is so funny. This is so comically hilarious. And honestly, probably doesn't even crack the top 100 ridiculous things that have happened to the Washington football team this year.
Not even close. I mean, to think that, all those emails and all we got out of it was John Gruden getting fired.
Yeah. Right.
Think about that. Like that's
a head coach for another football team gets canned for their investigation. Their of all of the obviously all the nastiness and all the terrible ownership stuff that went on with Dan Snyder. And then on top of that, Ryan Fitzpatrick gets injured at a water park over the summer. Isn't that like, weren't there some rumors behind his injury? He like going down like a water slide,
the hip injury that
yeah.
Like, oh, I did not know that.
Do a quick Google search on that one. Let me fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's another thing. And then look, Washington's
that was the first game of the season, right? That was the first, like when he got hurt. That was
it was. Everyone was all excited for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I was excited for Fitzpatrick, which also look up this too. I'm pretty sure he went to Harvard.
Well, I don't need to look that one up. That one has been embedded in my brain ever since I heard it for the first time. But so apparently it was a radio caller claimed. I don't know how.
Right. And nobody knows if it's true or not, but there's been very little denial behind it.
Yeah.
Which leads us to believe that it was a water park injury for Ryan Fitzpatrick. But anyway, shout out to the scissors on the on the FedEx field. I think that's the funniest. And I just love the trainer. The trainer, just the jerk, right? Oh, sorry, those are mine. Okay. Make sure nobody sees that. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Nice work, Taylor.
All right,
Yeah,
Taylor.
let's get you back over there.
And like just Taylor Heineke, like doesn't even doesn't even stop to inspect what they are. Like literally just bends down and picks them up and just like hands them right to the guy.
You know what that tells me though? This is not the first time he's picked up a pair of scissors off this football field.
No, oh yeah, no, it's a daily occurrence. In fact, if you play for the Washington football team, you have to just it comes with the territory. You're gonna be picking up medical supplies. I'm surprised think about the number of times like a player gets up from a pile on FedEx Field and has to pull like the used syringes out of his arm.
It's almost becoming a hazardous place to play just for that reason alone.
I know. Think about how hazardous it was to play before then, and that was even before we knew there was like medical equipment on the turf.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. All right. Well, that was my back of the week as well.
So that was my back of the week.
Right.
But one video I did want to show, and you made this reel over the weekend. It might be one of the greatest basketball plays that I've ever seen. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, Fisher College.
Yes, Fisher College. Yes. I think he's listed at. Oh wait, I shared the wrong screen. I think he's listed at 360 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Just an absolute unit, like someone that certainly would fare well as an offensive lineman in the NFL. And okay, here we go. Okay.
This was probably the highlight of the weekend, in my opinion.
I agree. And the reel that you made for it was absolutely perfect. So let me go ahead and start it here. So as Austin says here, it's the greatest sequence in history. And the trip, I mean, I feel bad for him. Like, slow to get up.
So, yeah, he's limping. Check out the limp. And then he's at the top of the key. Boom,
there
dish for the dunk.
Like, just the recovery alone. Like, I mean, he went down hard, too. Like, it looks like he stepped on that guy's shoe or something.
Honestly, I didn't know if he was going to get back up. When he got up to that one knee right there, I'm thinking, oh, like it's 50-50 whether or not he's going to get up for the rest of this series. I'm thinking like we may have to wait till the under 4 media timeout for him to get him up off of his feet.
To stand up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because right there, right when he gets to that knee right there, he pauses for a minute and then he gets up and then he limps and he's like, oh, psych, boom.
And that just shows you the confidence that this team has in him to still pass him the ball, even though he was limping, even though he was down, still passing the ball, knowing that he could still make a play.
See, this whole thing is like, how do we know this play wasn't drawn up? Like, what if this whole play is a rope-a-dope?
They pulled it off perfectly.
Oh, but to a T. You could tell they practiced this one before. So he's trudging down the court, and then he trips. Oh, trip. And then he's like, okay, and then he fakes himself. Yeah. And meanwhile, they're playing man. They get a little loose with the defense. He goes to the top of the key, passes right down low, boom.
And the defender on the guy that dunked it was probably like, wait a second. Did that guy just fall? Let me look at him real quick. Is he okay? And then it's like, boom, too quick.
Right. And keep in mind, this isn't like a play where you can just run at any point in the game. This is a play that like you have to set it up, kind of like a flea flicker. You have to run the ball a number of times before you can aptly set up the flea flicker. All right, like with this play, honestly, you have to go down. You have to go down 27 points.
I was about to say, so when you're down 27. It might be a good time to pull off the trick plays. I don't know.
Like you can't run this down 15 points or even down 10 points. Like you have to wait until you're down 27 points. Yeah. Before you can run this play, because that in and of itself is part of the rope-a-dope. You're roping the defense. They're like, oh, well, they're done cakes. So when they see number 50, a gigantic 350-pound center fall to his feet, they're like, oh, well, he's not going to get back up until at earliest the under 4 media timeout. So So then they kind of back off, and then boom, he goes to the top of the key, and then goes Jason Williams on their ass.
And then he sees him, boom,
right? Goes all white chocolate. The guy
Mhm.
looks like he had too much white chocolate.
Too much white chocolate, yeah. And as you see, Jeff Gelbert 2070 says he's seen this play before.
Yeah.
He thinks it's a setup.
Yeah, see, it's right there. Like it's,
Mhm.
it's like anyone who's watched enough basketball in their day, like knows where this play is coming from.
Yeah.
You have
But
to be a real smart basketball mind like me and LeBron for you to like
basketball
understand
IQ on a different
right,
level here.
the
Yeah.
intricacies of this play,
Yes. So I think that was the play of the weekend.
I think it's the leader for play of the year, possibly, at
play
least
of
in
the
the college
year.
basketball
Yes.
world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did I know Fisher College existed before that play? Probably not.
But it was like St. John Fisher, I think, too. It was like one of those like schools where it has way too many names for you to even know what they are.
Yeah, and it should probably tell you something that a 360-pound person is starting on their basketball team. But that's besides the point.
Right.
Just like,
yeah.
But good play, and I hope to see more highlights from him because I love athletes. So
hey, look, I love athletes too. I think that school should change if they really want to make a push, like a recruiting effort. Change their name to St. Jeff Fisher instead of St. John Fisher.
Oh, okay.
You see where I'm going with this?
Maybe we need to make that school.
I'm just saying, like, if they hired me as the director of marketing, I would say I'd bring that to the first board meeting. Guys,
Absolutely.
Look, we need to get with the times. Okay.
It's time.
We're not going bleeping 7 and 9. Okay. All right. What's your ugly of the week since you covered my back as well?
My ugly of the week, it was moments before disaster on Sunday. And I think we've seen this story before. I think it happened last year or 2 years ago with the Ravens Titans, I believe. It happened with Juju Smith-Schuster, TikToking on other teams' logos. And now an entire team has done it. The Vegas Raiders, they took a gamble on Sunday, and not just because they weren't in Vegas. They what did they do? It was a meeting, I guess, a team meeting. Whatever you want, a powwow. I'm not really sure.
Let's not make it anything more than what it was. I saw a lot of. It's funny whenever something like this happens, where like a team meets on a logo. Mm-hmm. It all of a sudden, like certain words get thrown out immediately. Stomped on their logo.
Stomped. Yeah. Logo. Yes. Yes.
Pissed on their logo. It's like, okay, first of all, none of those. Honestly, all they did was they broke it down in midfield, which is what has happened.
Well, hopefully we have an unbiased Cineboys podcast member in here to tell us. Maybe they can shine some light on to what the Raiders were doing at
because if there's one thing the Cineboys are, they're unbiased Chiefs fans.
Yes, that's why I would go to them first. Yes,
just like how you and I are unbiased Steelers and Titans fans, for sure.
So, speaking of which, it's a big week for you and I. It's a big week.
Oh man, I'm glad you said it. I didn't know if I was going to or not, but yeah, this is a huge week for not just this podcast, the Junk Drawer, but it's a huge week for our friendship, our family ship.
So hopefully we can come out with a tie so we can all be
this is like huge week for Corked Bats. It is Steelers versus Titans, and yeah, I would say like I don't even know how we deal with it with each other this week.
Well, and the timing was a little off because obviously there's some things going on in your life that maybe would prevent you from coming to the game. So the timing could have been better for Corked Bats' sake and content's sake, because we probably could have had some content produced from
I already took one trip up to Pittsburgh,
right. Yes. Yeah. So it probably would have been another one, just under the circumstances obviously cannot work. So
right. If I didn't have a kid, just go ahead and say it, AJ.
yeah,
Just
sorry,
go
that's
ahead and
basically
say
what
it.
that's basically what it is.
My kid is already getting in the way of us having
of content
fun and creating great content. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. All right, just go ahead. Let's not beat around the bush here.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
My kid is already destroying plans and fun times.
I would never hang that over her head, though. So just,
I appreciate that.
She's not old enough to listen to this podcast yet. So we'll maybe one day when she can hear this and she'll understand the compassion that her. Would I be an uncle? No, I'm like a second cousin.
Yeah, you're an uncle. Right? I'll make you an uncle.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that's not how families work, but I'll make it.
Yeah.
I'll
all right.
For you.
We'll have to redraw our family tree. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as she's born, I'm signing her up with an iTunes account, though, and we're getting her subscribed to this podcast.
That you just showed your age in one sentence right there by saying
iTunes
account. Like no one calls it that anymore at all.
No, I'm definitely going to sign her up. I'm going to have her mail in a subscription form. I'm going to have her pull out the subscription form in the middle of a magazine and mail that in.
Well, just let me know what the account is so I can send her a couple of 99-cent songs.
Just that's only if you have enough if you still have your 75 free hours of AOL from CompUSA. My gosh. Anyway, jeez. I can't believe I did that. iTunes account. iTunes. When was the last time anyone used iTunes?
Do they even call it iTunes
anymore?
No,
they changed the name of it like years ago.
It's just music. It
is. It's Apple Music. It's Apple Music. And it's been Apple Music for like a half a decade at least. Oh gosh. All right. So anyway, big week here for Cork Bouts. But Raiders, dude. Like maybe they shouldn't have stomped on that logo. Sorry, here I am. I'm falling for it. They didn't stomp on it.
You said they stomped. There was a meeting. They adjourned. No, not adjourned. They
had a meeting and adjourned said meeting on
adjourned some meeting on the logo. There we go.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, what grounds? Okay, maybe they beat the Chiefs last year at home, I think is what the reasoning was. But what grounds do the Raiders have to do this? Like what? They've lost 3-4 straight. Like they're just completely on the downward slope of their season. Like the Raiders haven't been the Raiders since they were like 3-0, I think. Like when they beat the Steelers week 2, I think. And I was like, oh, wow, are the Raiders good? Turns out the Steelers are just bad. I don't know. I just don't think the Raiders had absolutely any grounds to stand, stomp, kick, whatever they did on the logo. I just don't think there was any basis for doing that as a football team.
Yeah, no. And it's, I look, I don't know where their head's at. Cause they did clearly go out of their way to go and stand on said logo to break it down before the game. All I'll say is this is like, if you're going to do that, which look, if you're going to do it, fine. I'm not as big on like the whole, like, getting offended by standing on painted grass as most.
So not like John Harbaugh type.
Not like John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, who literally the Titans did this exact thing. Not nearly as
that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Right. That's disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Not nearly as egregious as what the Raiders did, because like the Titans were already at midfield, and they just they turned around and like broke it down at midfield on the Ravens logo.
Right.
The Raiders, they were not at midfield. They were like on like the 20 or something. The whole team walked to the huddle or walked to midfield to meet on the logo and then left. So I can see like maybe that coming across as more disrespectful as something else. But like the Titans, they were just on the logo already. Pre-game warm-ups, meet, break it down, go to the locker room. John Harbaugh gets all pissy, literally starts leaking down his leg. And then in the very next game that they play later on in the season, super wild card weekend, he after his team makes a game-sealing interception, sends the entire team out to not just like to dance and to stomp. One guy was like wiping his cleats on the logo, doing the whole like Troy Smith entering of a football stadium. Like move on the logo. And it's like, okay, John, if you're going to throw such a like, I don't care. I thought it was hilarious. I thought what the Ravens did after that game-sealing interception, it was like, all right, touche, well done. Okay. But like, if John Harbaugh is going to get as pissy as he did initially for the Titans just standing on the logo, how the hell is he going to not be pissed at his own team for doing something even more egregious after doing
right.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and again, the whole thing is so stupid. It like literally grown men and especially football fans just like get so fired up about painted grass. It's literally like you just take a tin of Sherman-Williams and you pour it on some AstroTurf, and boom, that's what the logo is. It's nothing more, nothing less than that. So the fact that we get so upset for someone standing on it, like is just so weird to me.
I know where you're coming from. I do. I don't think there was any, like, just leave the logos out of it, right? Like, why do we have to even bring them involved? Like, just stay off the logos. Should they put fences up like they did for Jackson Mahomes around
they should put
Sean Taylor? Like,
well,
like maybe they should.
Fences up, then Jackson Mahomes will get inside of it somehow.
He'll go do a TikTok.
Do his TikTok dance on the TikTok in there. That's
Sean Taylor's number. Yeah.
Goodness. I just think the whole thing is funny. But like if you're going to do that, if you're going to go stand on someone else's logo, you just got to make sure you don't do one thing. And that's fumble the first play and let the other team scoop it up and run it in for a touchdown. Like there's so many things you can do after that. And that is the only thing you can't do.
And I knew right then and there, because I had the Raiders. I had the Raiders in my 3-pack. I had them in other places.
Oh, that's tough.
I knew right then and there it was over.
It's over. Like stand on people's logos for all you want. I don't care, honestly. But if you do it, you can't give up a scoop and score fumble for the first play of the game. You just can't.
Literally the first play. The first play.
You know how there's like unwritten rules in baseball? There's unwritten rules of logo standing, and that is number one. That is the very first unwritten rule that is not.
If there is a list, that is the top of the list.
If there was if we wrote down the unwritten rules of logo standing, that would be number one.
My only other ugly of the week, that was tough to say for a second there. Other ugly of the week, Cam Newton.
Of course,
he's 0-11. His last 11 starts
for
the Panthers. The Panthers. So, Cam Newton, I had to get it out there. Cam Newton, as I'm sure some listeners know, my disdain for Cam Newton.
If there's one thing in this world AD hates, it is Cameron Newton, without question.
And I think the funniest part about all this is that, like, even the coaches know that, like, I think this comes back to him just not knowing the playbook, because the fact that they benched him and then tried to, like, come back and say, like, oh, well, that's just what we're going to do from now on. We're just going to, like, be switching quarterbacks in and out. Like, then why didn't you say that was your game plan, last week or like before that? Like, what?
It's a tough look. It's a very, very tough look for a former Heisman Trophy winner, former NFL MVP to get benched for an XFL starting quarterback.
Well, wait, you forgot Super Bowl runner-up.
And Super Bowl runner-up. You're right. NFC champion,
Yes.
Former NFC champion, Super Bowl runner-up. Getting benched for a dude who didn't even finish a full season, because the XFL season didn't last a full season. Played like 6 games in the XFL in PJ Walker. That's just that's a bad look. It's a bad look.
So they benched him the first half, I believe, and then they brought him back in the second half. So do you think he begged them at halftime, like, look, guys, I'll learn the playbook. I'm serious. Like, I'll read it. I'll study it every night. And the coaches were like, all right, like, maybe we should give him another shot. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, because if there's one thing about football coaches I know for sure, like, they're like, okay, all right.
All right, well, if you insist.
Just because you asked nicely.
If you promise, only if you promise, yeah.
Do you think they have to give Cam Newton a playbook that's written in his like hieroglyphics text? Do you think that's why he's struggling so much right now?
He's like, I don't know how to read this. I can't read it.
Remember, what was it? Wasn't it Mac Jones? Mac Jones said that he didn't know the playbook. Like he would ask.
Mac Jones was teaching him the playbook.
Teaching him the playbook. Because it's not written in his font. Okay,
Yes.
People. Like let's not be so quick to judge Cam Newton. Okay, like if you were given a playbook that was written in Chinese and you don't speak Chinese, you'd probably have a hard time reading it too. All right. Cam Newton knows one language, and it's whatever the hell that language is he posts his Instagram post from. So like I don't blame him. I don't blame him for sucking. There, I said it. I know you hate Cam Newton, but I don't blame him for sucking. You expect him to know English? You expect him to read and learn English? No.
Think again.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll leave this question with you. Will this be his last season, Cam Newton? Is he done?
Now, are you asking by choice?
Oh. Either way. Okay. Either way.
I'll say no, because I think. Well, then again, I mean, I thought they would last year, but I think some team would take him on as a backup, right?
I mean, there was rumors floating around about the Steelers should sign him, and that was like literally my worst nightmare.
Would you rather have Big Ben or Cam Newton right now?
Oh, jeez.
Although Big Ben did have a great second half the other night.
He can't, for some reason, he can't get it started until the second half. I don't know. It's like an old lawnmower or something.
Sure. Yeah. Right. It's like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry.
A couple pulls,
Yeah. Derrick Henry will rush for 14 yards in the first half, and then all of a sudden he'll go off for 150 in the second half. So
yeah. I do think at this juncture, I do think that Cam Newton would probably be more exciting than Ben. Just like watching, and I think proof of that was watching Tom Brady have 30 yards rushing yesterday. Like that was unbelievable to see. And Ben looks like he has cement in his shoes, because he can't move in the pocket at all.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think even from that standpoint, it would be more exciting. Yeah,
he never could move in the pocket, and now he's somehow found a way to be worse at moving in the pocket than
and I do think it would be fun to see Najee and Cam. So there's that, but it would be a lot of running game, I guess.
So okay.
What's your ugly of the week?
My ugly of the week. It's a guy. It's a guy by the name of Urban Meyer. Have you ever heard of him?
Urban?
Yeah.
It's a heck of a name too, Urban.
Isn't it? It'd be great for recruiting.
Yeah.
Talent.
Do you think so during his Urban has 3 national championships or just 2?
He has 3. 2 back-to-backs at Florida and then 1 with Ohio State.
So do you think in both Florida and Ohio State around the time of those national championship runs, do you think there was an uptick on babies named Urban in those areas?
I'm going to say no, because it is kind of a dumb name, but possibly. Very possibly.
Okay. All right.
Urban Meyer, my man, is he continues to step in it. I don't know how, but he does. We were talking earlier about the scissors on the field at FedEx Field. Like just funny things just keep happening to the Washington football team this year. Same thing with Urban Meyer
and the Jaguars.
Yeah, and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
He called. There were reports that came out earlier this year that said he called his entire staff losers and made them basically defend their resumes to him. Like, what have you ever won? Implying that he himself is a national champion 3 times.
He's a winner.
Over.
He is a winner.
He's a winner. And so he made the guys go around the room and defend what they had ever won before. Which is funny because Charlie Strong is his assistant head coach, and Charlie Strong is most famous for losing to Kansas as the head coach of Texas, the first go around. Texas is repeating history this year too.
Yeah, he might not be able to defend his resume then.
Yeah, probably cannot. And then so calls his team losers, and then it was reported. Jay Glazer came on the Fox Morning Show Sunday morning and said basically confirmed the report. He's like, yeah, talked to Urban, and he said, yeah, I did call my team losers. And then he denied like one aspect of the report that came out on and this report dropped on NFL.com of all places.
It was Tom Pelissaro, yeah.
Yes, Tom Pelissaro on
Yeah.
NFL.com. Never a good sign when the league's own website is like reporting, like dropping bombs about one of its own head coaches. Very rarely do you see that. So, but pretty brutal when you do. Like this wasn't like the Jacksonville Gazette or whatever dropping the story. This was the Shield's own website.
But that makes me think that like this is just an effort to push him out by the league and maybe the owners. I don't know. That seems calculated to me, though. The fact that this report dropped
it does have some of those like calculated vibes to it.
I think the part that we're forgetting here is that like the Jags have only been good once in the past 10 years. Right, and it was like when they randomly went to the AFC Championship with Blake Bortles.
I'll tell you, Titans fans don't forget that.
And neither do Steelers fans.
I was going to say, Steelers.
They beat us that year. Yeah, they beat us that year. And in Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah.
That was like one of the most painful games to watch.
Blake Bortles.
But yeah, Blake Bortles. But so I don't know why, like, the fact that the Jags are 1-2-8 or 2-10 rather, 2-9.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything because they weren't supposed to be good this year. Like
no.
So if they are really trying to fire him now, I just don't understand that logic. Whenever like, I mean, this is me trying to defend him. I guess I know all the external stuff, everything happening with Urban, with the girl grinding up on his lap, all that stuff, but. I just don't think he'll be fired this year, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think he would, except for the fact that like every report that comes out about him is just toxic. And that it's like, you do want to squash that bug before it grows to be any bigger. And honestly, like, and I agree with you. I do think like it would be dumb. I always think it's dumb to fire a coach after 1 year. Didn't the Browns do it with Freddie Kitchens?
And Hugh Jackson, I think.
Hugh Jackson got 2 years.
He was there for 2 years, but that's the same thing though. 2 years, like it's still not enough time to build a program, or not even a program, like
because there can be extenuating circumstances that could only last for 1 year, like where it's not fair to the person that you hire to be like, oh hey, turn around this mess in 12 months or else you're fired
with only a number one pick in Trevor Lawrence, right? Like it's like. And then they had 2 picks in the first round this year, and Travis Etienne, Etienne got hurt,
right,
like week 2 or something.
Yeah, which they were gonna put him at wide receiver too, which was also kind of funny. I don't know why they were trying that whole thing. Then again, they also tried out Tim Tebow at tight end.
Okay, all right. When you start to say things like that, though, it's just
right now you're like starting to see like, okay, why Urban Meyer's like may be on borrowed time right now. Especially when reports come out that he calls his staff a loser. But then this was after the game. This was really funny to me. Just the body language here. Okay. Like they say body language speaks volumes. His body language is internal screaming. Like, look at this. Like just dead. Just
like a dead man. I was about to say dead man walking because that's essentially what it looks like. But here's the flip side. Did you see the pregame handshake with these two?
I did. And Vrabel goes out for the handshake, and Herb kind of goes in for like the bro hug.
Yeah, it was like we don't handshake around here, man. We're tight. And
yeah,
right.
Right.
This is like
because Vrabel used to be on Urban's staff at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So like they have history together. And then after the game, like you can see Vrabel, like if I just showed an alien could come down to planet Earth right now, and I could show that alien this video, tell him not like, even if he doesn't know anything about football, I could just say, which of these 2 coaches do you think just won a game and which one just lost? And I think even the alien would be like, oh, clearly
that guy,
the guy with the baby blue sleeves, stripes on his sleeves. Like he's the one who won. The other guy just clearly a hand in the pocket too. Like
Yeah.
Herb's body, like that man is dead inside. He is
Well,
absolutely dead inside. He's thinking, man, I could be in Columbus at my own bar and grill right now, grinding on some hot co-ed right now.
yeah. What do you think before the game? Like, because let's keep in mind the Titans were without Derrick Henry, they're without AJ Brown. They had a lot of injuries. Do you think maybe he thought, I have a chance to win this game and save my face, save face as a coach? This would be a big divisional win.
Right. And they beat the Bills. They beat the Bills earlier the year.
Maybe this is it. And then they just lay a goose egg. And I think it was the second time in Herb's career that he got shut out.
Yeah. Right. And also look at the graphic on the screen too. 7 straight games with under 20 points. Coming from a guy who's like an offensive minded coach, just devastating. And like you think like, oh, well, I've got Trevor Lawrence. I got the number 1 pick, like a generational talent at quarterback. And then he throws 4 picks.
Well, that's sort of should we be questioning these scouts saying that like Trevor Lawrence was undoubtedly the number 1 overall pick? Like,
look, I saw some numbers. I saw some numbers this week of Gardner Minshew's career with the Jaguars, or like maybe like first 10 games with the Jaguars versus Trevor Lawrence's first 10 games with the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew had better numbers. I don't understand that move early on, like where they decided to trade Gardner Minshew. Like they gave him first team reps. Cause remember, he was starting during all of training camp. They were giving him first team reps, and then they traded away him to the Eagles. And meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence is sitting on the bench. Like Trevor could have been having all of those first team reps. So like, if you know you're going to trade the guy, why do you give him first team reps? And then 2, why are you trading him? Like he very well could have been better for this franchise.
Even as a backup, he would have been better. Like if they just decided to start him.
It reminds me of like Justin Fields and Andy Dalton situation in Chicago. It's like you have like a veteran quarterback. Like why would you not at least play him until the rookie is ready?
You know what that makes me think, though, is that internally they may have thought that Gardner Minshew was better than Trevor Lawrence and posed more of a threat to Trevor than he did as like an asset.
Ooh, okay. So, I see where you're going with this.
Because I don't know, like you don't want a QB controversy if it ever were to arise with a rookie, and number 1 overall pick too. So you don't ever want a QB controversy to plague your locker room. And then you start to have players question, like, because they know who's better. Like players aren't stupid. That's why I'm interested to see. I think the Eagles are still going with Jalen Hurts this weekend because he only had like an ankle injury, and I guess Gardner Minshew's play didn't warrant another start for him. But let's just say the Eagles go into this game Sunday and Jalen Hurts starts to suck. Do you bring in Gardner Minshew? And then at that point he does better than him. What do you do with Jalen Hurts? Like that's I think that's how these things should be looked at. But I hope Gardner Minshew finds a landing spot after this year, because I love watching that guy play, and he got boned by Jacksonville big time. Like I don't think they would be any better at this current point in time. They probably have the same record still, but I do think he's a good player. Is he better than Trevor Lawrence? People are asking. I don't know.
People are asking. People are asking. AD, I do want to ask this. Is Urban Meyer the coach in Jacksonville next year? Because, look, the old saying goes, when the going gets tough, Urban Meyer gets going.
Mm-hmm.
Like it may not even take him getting fired to not be the coach next year. Like he may just walk on his own.
Like cite like health issues or something again.
Right. Urban Meyer could very well be like, this time next year, is Urban Meyer
spend more time
coaching the Jaguars or handing out his number at a bar?
I personally think that the Jags will try one more year with him. They'll give him one more shot. And if they don't
will he give himself one more shot?
I think he will.
That man looks dead inside. That man is like, I'm done. Like I'm going to go.
Yeah. I
I want to spend more time with my family for like a week and then get a TV gig somewhere. I want to
yeah.
join Fox noon kickoff.
So if he gets the Jags 3 wins next year, I think he's still the coach.
Next year or
Yeah.
this year?
Well, I mean, this year I don't think he'll be getting a 3rd win.
You don't think he's going to get one? Oh, damn.
No, I don't think so. Because they're 2-9 right now. Who's left on their schedule?
They have the Texans this week. This week.
So that could be okay.
Um,
They could definitely get their 3rd win. Texans, Jets, Patriots, Colts. So we're looking at maybe one more win. But at this rate that they're going, I just don't see it. Oh, they did beat the Texans week 1. Okay. And that's when everyone was like, wow, Trevor Lawrence is really good. Week 1, they put up 37 points. And it hasn't been, they haven't played the Texans defense every week. So it's not going to be the same result.
AD, last thing I want to get to before we get to our 3 bad picks.
Yes.
Does anyone understand the metaverse?
No.
Because
I don't.
I sure as hell don't, dude. I saw this tweet today. I was scrolling through Twitter and I stumbled upon this tweet. And honestly, AD, it kind of scared me a little bit. Applebee's is dropping NFTs in the metaverse. They tweeted, your favorite Applebee's burger has transcended reality to become the first metaverse meal, dropping now on metaversemeals.io and created by NFT artist Amber Vittoria, #Metaverse Monday. AD, like I know what NFTs are. They're basically like digital baseball cards is the best way I can describe them.
We actually talked about them.
Yeah,
right. On this podcast back in the day.
NBA Top Shot, you got into it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but like AD, I'm confused as to what the metaverse is, dude. I'm like, and I don't know if this is me showing my age or what, but I'm getting scared because I'm seeing it pop up in more places more often. Obviously, Facebook changed their name to Meta because Zuckerberg wants to unveil the metaverse and everything. And I'm just like scared. I tweeted this out earlier today, but I'm like scared I'm going to just be sitting at home one day. I'm gonna walk outside and I'm gonna be like, where the hell is everyone? Where did everyone go? And my first thought's gonna be apocalypse. Like, did the Lord come back for everyone and I'm just left standing? Like, what the hell? And then, but then I'll probably quickly realize that, like, no, just everyone's hanging out in the metaverse. Like, everyone's going to be in their home with their Oculus glasses on, hanging out in the metaverse, kind of like Ready Player One. And I'm going to be left like being like, crap, like now I should have clicked on a few more of those articles explaining what the metaverse is. Like, because I don't know. I just feel like I have no idea what the hell it is. And I'm going to be left behind. I think I've just come to terms with it, I think.
Well, I understand that take, but I think what this tells me, that the fact that Applebee's is now like diving into this space,
yeah,
I fear that it may be too late for us. I don't,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's like whenever, and we've talked about this numerous times. It's like whenever Facebook removed the .edu requirement to get, like, as soon as everyone got it. As soon as everyone had Facebook, that's when it became uncool. The fact that Applebee's has a damn NFT, it's over. I
used to pride myself on being very tech savvy and being an early adopter to new technology,
if you will,
and new social media and things like that. AD, I'm scared because now freaking Applebee's. Eating good in the neighborhood, Applebee's, okay? Your neighborhood bar and grill, Applebee's, is beating me to the punch to knowing what the hell the metaverse is. And not just like knowing what it is, but getting actively involved.
Creating in the metaverse.
I want to just curl up and I just want to shrivel up in a corner and just give up. I think I'm just done. I think I'm just going to go like, okay, fine. I don't know. I just
So
don't. I don't.
did they sell the
I think
the
they
bird?
did. Yeah.
I just found it. Yeah.
Oh, did you found it? Why?
Well,
You were thinking about buying it?
I'm gonna buy it now. I feel out of the loop. But guess how much it sold for?
How much?
It is in dollars, so it's not in like Ethereum or anything like that.
$199.
No, not even. $25.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. That's like a 2 for 20. You can get 2 appetizers for that cost.
Oh,
That
wow! But the buyer also got an Applebee's gift card loaded with $1,300. What? $1,300 for $25 seems like a pretty damn good deal.
Now maybe
regardless if it's Applebee's or not.
Yeah, now I should get into buying some Applebee's gift card or NFTs.
Also, I had no clue Applebee's was based in California, so this is news to me as well. Maybe that explains why they were part of the Metaverse already.
I guess, yeah. What part of California? Silicon Valley?
Glendale might as well be Silicon Valley.
Might as well be. All right. So yeah.
And
thanks for
one last
like
note.
Crap Applebee's, and not just from eating your mozzarella sticks.
One last note. From last week, the NCAA changed the rule. The
on the slide, I saw that
the fake slide rule. Like,
that's an ugly for this week too.
Were they listening to our podcast? They may have been. Yeah,
clearly unbelievable that one dude fake slides once and they make a rule.
It might as well be an epidemic.
I almost blogged about that. I almost blogged about that last week. I was so pissed. I was so dumb.
But like, so if we saw a fake slide in the Army Navy game, which number one would have been impressive.
Buddy.
But
it's like targeting. You're ejected. You're out of and then you go to jail too. Like it's, you can get they made it not just illegal in football games. They made it illegal across the country. They passed laws across all 50 states. You can get arrested, thrown in jail because that is assault. If you commit a fake slide on a football field, that is the same as committing assault.
The NCAA is cracking down. I don't blame them.
All right, let's speed through this quickly. 3 bad picks. Last week, I believe I went. What did I do? I went 1-2.
You were 2-1. Now the Ravens covered last second there.
Oh, the Ravens covered. Oh,
yeah, it was a half a point. They lost by 2. So
that's right.
And they had no business covering. So that was very lucky.
Hell yeah. All right.
Nice pick. Even though it wasn't a 3-0, but
yeah, I went 2-1. It's the damn.
You were
Bengals.
close though.
I keep betting
Bengals
on the Bengals.
Was in overtime. They were in overtime.
I know, but I keep betting on the Bengals and they keep letting me down. I need to stay away with them. It's the same thing with Nebraska football. You bet on Nebraska football.
They're gonna lose.
However, I bet on Nebraska football, go the opposite way because then you will win your bet for sure. I can't figure that team out, just like I can't figure out the Bengals. And shout out coin flip guy back on his Raiders coin flip guy back on his game.
He got it right again.
They lost to the Chiefs. He had them losing to the Chiefs, and they sure enough lost to the Chiefs. So all right, what are your picks this week?
All right, I'm picking the Bills to bounce back, -10.5. They have, and I always forget to write down the opponents.
The Panthers. They got the Panthers.
Bills have the Panthers, and if you know anything about me and Cam Newton, you know I hate Cam Newton, so that's why I'm picking the Bills. Yeah, very big shock. Rams -7 versus the Seahawks. That is Rams at home. Seahawks just don't look that great. They're just not going to win that game. And then Saints plus
Texans in the first half last week.
They did. And then Saints +11 at Bucks. For some reason, I feel like the Saints just always play the Bucks tough, even though, Tom will probably prove me wrong on Sunday. But
no, they do. In fact, Brady's record against the Saints, I think, is worst amongst any team since.
That's a fun fact.
Joining the Bucks, which isn't saying much because he plays them twice a year. But I think of his 4 losses. Of his 4, does he have 4 losses this year?
Because they lost to the Bucks early, right?
Yeah, something like of his 7 losses with the Bucks or something. 4 of them are from the Saints or something. Or It's not 4 of them.
So this is
3 of
actually
them.
almost like a revenge game for Brady. So I'm actually not really sure how I feel about it now.
Here I'm like trying to give like really cool stats and I don't know them. I'm like making them up on the fly, but just know that I'm validating AD's point that he does not play well against the Saints.
They sound cool. And
thanks.
Yeah. These are bad picks, so keep that in mind. Yeah.
It's 3 bad picks. Like, what do you expect? It's in the name of the segment, okay? It is in the name of the segment. Okay, my picks, I'm going Texans +3 over the Jags.
Ooh, all right. We were just talking about that. Yeah.
Is it Davis Mills or David Mills?
Yeah, Davis
Mills, of course. It would be the more ridiculous of the two.
Mm-hmm.
So Davis Mills led the NFL in passing yards yesterday.
Did he really? Holy
I'm
shit.
pretty sure, or at least he did after the first window of games. I'm sure no one passed him. But yeah, Davis Mills. Shout out Davis Mills.
Another fun fact. Thank you.
Another fun fact that I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not.
You like have like a question at the end. Like,
again, it's 3 bad picks. It's 3 bad picks. What do you expect? You're going to get bad picks and bad stats.
Exactly.
Give me the Patriots +2 over the Colts. Why the Colts are favored in this game is beyond me. I guess just because they're at home. But I mean, clearly that can't be the deciding factor because the Steelers are at home this week and they're underdogs to the Titans. Oh, too soon. I'm sorry. AD, I did not mean it.
I don't feel pain anymore, so it doesn't affect me.
Just count the Santa hats this week.
Yeah.
Patriots +2 over the Colts, and then Panthers.
Wow.
That spread is too big. That spread is too big for a Bills team that doesn't even run the football anymore. +10.5 over the Bills. No, I think the Panthers can cover that. So give me the Panthers.
So one of us is not going 3-0 this week.
One of us is not going. Well, probably both of us is not
going.
Probably
both of us, since it's our 3 bad picks. But
all right, let's get to everyone's favorite segment of the day.
The Frank fact. So our friend Fank. Did I say Fank?
Fank, yeah, our friend Frank.
Friend Frank. That's kind of a tongue twister there. Our friend Frank, formerly writer for Cork Bats, now gives us a fact every week that we honestly just can't get enough of. And sometimes I wish he'd give us multiple facts in a week, and so I could just marvel and tell all my friends about it, which is what I do. Every time I hear a Frank fact, I'm spitting it out. And Austin, what is it this week?
So last week we said you're supposed to apply the Frank fact was you were supposed to apply deodorant at night before bed, not in the morning.
Did you do it?
AD, I'm not going to lie to you. I still have yet to put deodorant on at night. I'm scared. I'm not saying that the Frank fact is wrong. I obviously the Frank fact is never wrong. But I'm just terrified to actually, to actually do it. Like I don't know. Have you done it yet?
I have done it, and I said this last week. I've only done it because I've showered at night, and that's the only reason I would do it.
Okay.
Because I can't. I'm not one of those people that can shower and then just go right to bed. If I do that, I'll wake up smelling. So I do put on some deodorant, so maybe that's what the trick is. I don't know.
Well, this week's Frank fact is every 2 weeks, a language goes extinct as its last speaker dies. Every 2 weeks, a language goes extinct as its last speaker dies. How about that?
Jesus. I didn't think it was going to be this morbid this week.
There's a lot of languages out there.
There are.
So when Cam Newton dies, will his language be extinct?
Unless he passes it on to his children. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, look, I think it's hard enough teaching kids the proper use of English language, let alone whatever the hell he types with. But yeah, how about that? Like that's wild to think about.
So this has to be accounting for like small villages. I'm thinking like maybe in like the mountains somewhere that maybe
Tibet.
Yeah, it's just that's a lot of languages though. Every 2 weeks,
a lot of languages every 2 weeks. Think about that. That's 26 languages a year die.
Damn.
But I guess that's on average.
Yeah.
That's probably just the average.
Okay.
So it's probably not like technically every 2 weeks.
But still,
that's a lot of languages dying. And you got to think like how lonely it is for when that last speaker like is in his dying breath. that last speaker is just like,
'Cause
man, I got no one to talk to because
no one would ever understand him anyway.
no
Like,
one knows my language. The last
Yeah.
guy died. It's meaning I'm the last one here. Maybe that's why they probably die of like loneliness, broken heart.
Actually, though. Okay, so I typed into my browser here, how many languages are there? I didn't hit enter yet.
Okay.
Do you have? I don't even have a guess. Like, what's a good guess? What's
I'll say 1,500.
1,500? All right, I'm gonna say. Jeez, I don't even know. I'm gonna say 2,100.
2,100.
All
Okay.
right,
How many
I'm gonna enter
languages
here.
are there in the world? There's got to be enough
Jeez.
to
We-
one dying off every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we weren't even close.
What is it? More?
Roughly, I mean, I don't even know if Google knows the answer. Roughly 6,500 languages are spoken in the world today.
Wow. Okay.
6,500.
Then that makes this Frank fact more believable. Not
And
saying that
that's-
it wasn't
yes.
before,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, just knowing that like 65. Okay, we could shave off of 26 of those a year,
Easily, yeah.
and not even
that
make a dent.
after knowing that, like that almost should have been included in this fact. Like there are this many languages in the world, so much so that every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and we're not here to correct Frank. It's just
No.
if I were to rewrite the fact, that's all. That's all.
I'm wondering like are there new languages being discovered?
Well,
Should we start our own language here in the junk drawer?
I think as soon as the language gets onto Duolingo, I think is when it becomes like official.
There's a plug. There's a plug.
Yeah,
AD's wife
official.
works for Duolingo. There it is. He went to the Duolingo Christmas party on
I
Friday.
was at the owl party. Yes, I was. Yeah.
All right. That's what it all came back to. All right. Hey, make sure you subscribe wherever podcasts are found. Like and subscribe. We appreciate every single one of you guys who do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get subscribe to it. We're at 945. We're trying to get to 1,000 before New Year's. Help us get there, please. Just go hit subscribe. Boom, you're done. It's that simple.
Austin,
youtube.com/corkedbaths. What's up?
You said subscribe wherever podcasts are found. Are podcasts in the Metaverse?
No, they're in the iTunes store. You can find them in the iTunes store.
Thank you.
All right, AD. You got anything for the road?
Yeah, I do. And you can't really see here, but earlier today I had to take some dying leaves off. I had to, make it look a little nicer because some leaves were dying.
Yeah.
So just make sure you clean up your plants a little bit and water them. Don't forget to water them.
Don't forget to water your plants, guys. Never forget that. All right. Yeah, guys, thanks for all the support you give Cork Baths. We appreciate every single one of you. YouTube.com/Cork Baths. We're trying to get to 1,000 before New Year's. Well,
Please
I'm gonna
subscribe.
if we get there, I'm gonna go shirtless. AD is gonna go hatless, and so
I'm not going to take it off. But
I don't know why
you'll see it when it happens. Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. All right, AD, what's the word I say to get out of here?
Let's get out of here.
No, that's not it.
Oh, ahoy.
Ahoy.